Hey there people, today we are taking a look at Age of Darkness Final Stand. Is it good, bad, or just meh? Let's take a look. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment so you can unsubscribe when I do my face reveal later this year. First, let's see what Age of Darkness actually is. Well, it depends on the game mode. Campaign is a story-driven mode, survival is basically they are billions, and co-op is... well, everyone knows what co-op is, but in every mode it's an RTS with heroes playing a major role in your success. We'll start with checking out the campaign and gameplay. The campaign is very bipolar right from the start. The opening cinematics make you think the story is very cliché. Light and shadow fight, light wins, raises humans, which of course turn out to be power-hungry douchebags and destroy the light dudes. And you know the drill. But then the cinematic right after the first mission will leave you with your jaws on the floor. You have to see that one for yourself, so no spoilers here. The gameplay of the campaign is much different from survival. Some might say it's easier, but I actually like the gameplay a lot. It reminds me ever so slightly of a franchise which at the time was drama-free and people didn't have meltdowns about it. Warcraft. It's Warcraft 3. But the further you go in the campaign, the more cracks start to show. As much as I like building up an army and sending them to their deaths to achieve my goal, you know, in the sense of some of you may die, but this is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Now, you do have a hero or a couple at your disposal, so the death count of your units can be disappointingly low. But about the cracks, the biggest one is found in the story and characters. One of them, Aurelia, is absolutely insufferable and constantly makes dumb decisions. Her mentor Edward is written a bit better, with him regretting his past and trying to be a much better person than he was, but his relationship with Aurelia is just not written well. I'll explain more about that in the story section, but it's a big part of the campaign, and without spoiling anything, the ending doesn't actually resolve anything. And as we all know, that is one of the deadly sins of game development. There are some cracks showing in gameplay too, especially with unit pathing and targeting. Sometimes your units will not respond to your orders and will attack at their own will. Must be the sacrifice I'm willing to make and them trying their best not to become one. And the third and last issue, defenses are extremely easy to destroy, both yours and your enemies, and I'd like the defenses to play a bigger role in the game. But overall, the gameplay is actually very fun, the missions are very digestible, not too short, not too long, and at least at the beginning you'll want to know what happens next. The twist with Aurelia is seen from Saturn, or Uranus, but the other one, well, that one was done very well. For survival mode, I don't have any complaints, it's extremely fun and trying to beat the mode is a rush. You're pretty much safe during the day and you can explore the map and build up your army, recover your losses, and so on. It's a very fun mode, the hordes attacking you at night can be massive, but with your heroes and disposables, you'll be okay. The only issue is targeting and pathing from before. Let's continue on with story and writing.
Big girl from my breast. Dead and gone.
How they love you, my queen.
They love a good hanging, Cyrus.
I know I talked a lot about the story in the campaign, but we need to talk about it a bit more. Some light spoilers here, so if you don't want to know anything about it, please skip to sound and music in the description below. So to add to what I said in the campaign, the relationship between Edward and Aurelia isn't written up to the standards. She's bratty and acts like she knows everything, and a knight of many decades is clueless because... reasons? He isn't, by the way, but she thinks he is. Edward tries his best to teach her how to be a good knight, but she just rejects it all the time, and when the big twist of the game happens, she makes the dumbest decisions. Which is okay, but Edward's still trying to chase after her and yelling, "Aurelia!" every time he sees her, even though she's clearly beyond help, is a bit frustrating. I think if they wrote Aurelia a little bit nuanced, it would work much better. At least give her something, which is a problem for the majority of characters actually, but Aurelia is the biggest offender. If she'd been written as a conflicted on what the Order of the Knights does, the morality of it, and trying to find her own place in the world, it would work much better. Instead, even her voice acting from the beginning can tell she'll just be unlikable forever. Not faulting the voice actress here, she was just following directions. Actually, the voice acting is pretty good. Now that I think about it, I think there's just two characters of the main cast which aren't straight up bad people, which is a shame because there's a lot of potential here. Also, the ending is atrocious. It doesn't resolve anything the intro sets up. In fact, everything seems to be made worse. For a game called Final Stand, the aforementioned Final Stand is sorely missing. Sound and music are next.
A master in the making.
At once.
Age of Darkness Final Stand excels in both sound and music. Voice acting is really good, even though the story is what it is. Every character brings out the personality the writers intended. While the story is mostly centered on Edward and Aurelia, the supporting cast does a good job of driving the story forward. One of them is an immoral coward and a drunk, and even he's more likable than Aurelia, and he takes slaves and kills people, innocent people. Music is good and it fits the atmosphere of the game. I like the difference in music during the day and night, and this is one of the games you don't need background music from Spotify or YouTube. Well done!
A master in the making. Hey, send me to battle.
Now, an age-old question, is the game worth buying? I know I criticize the game's story and characters a lot, but that's because I actually like the game and a better story could elevate it to legendary status. Right now the game is 65% off and survival mode alone offers enough fun for the game to be worth it. That is, if you like They Are Billions. If you're in it for a good campaign, something akin to Songs of Silence, then at the current price I'd still recommend it. There are some twists which will leave you surprised. I just wish the writing quality would be at that point all the time. At the full price the story is maybe a little bit different. I wouldn't recommend the game at full price just for the campaign, unless they throw in some DLC in the future which will resolve the story fully and not leave it worse as we started off. A couple of recommendations here: if you like RTS aspect of the game, then Age of Mythology could be right up your alley. Heroes, armies, and a lot of fun await in Age of Mythology. If you're more into survival mode, then There Are Billions of course, but also diplomacy is not an option, could be a great choice here. The game just has a certain charm that is hard to look past, from graphics to some humorous elements. So that is my opinion on Age of Darkness Final Stand. Do you agree with it? Or am I being goblin brain and totally wrong? Comment down below. We'll also talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 controversy and why you shouldn't care about it. No drama, I promise. That's it for this video. Until next time, Goblin out. Bye!